Let's get this church going. Come on. This is one of my favorites. Help me out here. All right. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Well, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on now. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Come on now. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you, Gretchen. Good morning. Wait, you guys are the ones that slept in. Good morning. There you go. Okay. I'm Brian, and it's a pleasure to see all of you here today. We're blessed by your presence. And before we get rolling, let's just make sure that we've turned off our cell phones or any other little devices that might make noises. Each Sunday, we come together to celebrate our oneness with each other and with God. In Unity, we welcome people of every culture and lifestyle and creed. Whatever your path is that got you here, we're glad you've been on that path. We honor the many paths to God and the many names that we have for God and the many ways in which we each experience God. We give thanks for the presence of God within each of us and for the expression of joy and truth and love in each of our lives. This morning, we join people all around the world who are reading today's daily word, which is today's daily words. There's 2 of them, and it's Pet Blessing. I'm grateful for the healing love of pets. Pets love us no matter what we do or don't do. Animal friends don't judge whether humans are worthy, nor do they withhold their love. They simply love us for being. Through their unconditional love, we experience the healing power of God. The calm I feel when I pet an animal or the joy of watching animals at play brings me a sense of wholeness. Animals nurture the spiritual qualities of peace and happiness in me. They are living examples of how to trust the body's intrinsic rhythm. They instinctively know when to rest, play, stretch, and exercise. The greatest instinct of all is their love with open-hearted loyalty. Today, I thank pets and animals for bringing their healing love to me and to all of humanity. And from Job, we read, "But ask the animals, and they will teach you, the birds of the air, and they will tell you." I bring greetings from Reverend Heidi, who is still in Tanzania, but she says, hey, love y'all. She will be back with us on September 14th. And in her absence, we're blessed to have Reverend Mark Anthony Lord with us again. So thank you, Mark Anthony. Yeah, we'll tell you more about Mark Anthony later. We do have a couple of messages from Rev Heidi, just little ones. The first one's not really from her, it's from us. The prayer workshop that was scheduled for this afternoon has been canceled. Reverend Mark Anthony's not feeling so well, so we're going to cancel that for today. Know that the Ash Wednesday candlelight service with Reverend Heidi will be on February 10th at 7 p.m. Music will be by our own Peter Polzak and Maggie Bynum. Coffee and cookies will follow the service. And Ash Wednesday is the beginning of Lent, and it's the beginning of our Start Resurrecting Your Soul series. That 7-week Sunday series, called Resurrecting Your Soul, begins Sunday, February 14th, and runs through March 27th, which is Easter. The in-home discussion groups begin on Thursday, February 18th, and you can sign up in the friendship room for those groups. We will have a Resurrected Souls potluck night at the church on Thursday, March 31st, as a culmination of those in-home groups. The book, Spiritual Power Tools by Jane E. Hart, is available for $10, and that's at the wings over in the gallery. Reverend Heidi will be holding a silent meditation day on Saturday, February 20th, and that will be from 9:30 in the morning until 5. It is the beginning of February, which means we're going to celebrate our February birthdays. We'd like to recognize all of you that are having a birthday in February. So if it is your birthday month, if you could stand so our ushers can find you, give a small gift and stay standing. And in place of names, we're going to say happy birthday, loved ones, or maybe there's
Walter. Anyone else?
Yeah, there's one back
Okay,
there.
all right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear loved ones. Happy birthday to you.
They should be pretty easy to find. There's only 2 of them, so wish them happy birthday. We are delighted today to welcome a new vocalist to our family. It is her first time with us, and Joyce Peaches Faison began singing at her father's church when she was just 4 years old. From there, she explored jazz, opera, and many other forms of popular music. She has performed with an impressive list of stars such as Ray Charles, Gladys Knight, Count Basie, Bruce Willis, and Patti LaBelle. We may have to talk about that one later. Her talents have pretty much taken her around the world, and she's a very popular voiceover talent. We've probably all heard her before, just not the way we're going to hear her today. Peaches received Billboard's Best New Vocalist for her first solo album, Love Fire. She's also won several awards for her performance as Billie Holiday in Lady Day at the Emerson's Bar and Grill, including a Joseph Jefferson Award. There's a lot more on her bio that's really, really impressive, but if I cover it, we'll never get to hear her sing. So please, let's have a warm Unity in Chicago welcome for Joyce Peaches Faison.
When you're weary, feeling so small, when tears are in your eyes, I'll dry them all. See, I'm on your side. When times get rough, all your friends just can't be found like a bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me down. Oh, yes, I will. Now when you're down and out, you find yourself on the street. And evening falls, oh, so hard. I am there to comfort you, yes I am. Oh, I'll take your part. I'll take it when darkness comes. Hey, it's all around you, just like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. Ooh. So come on and sail on, silver boy. Rise up and sail on by. Your time has come. Your time has come to shine. And all of your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. And if you look around, I'm sailing right. I'm right behind you, just like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down, just like a bridge over troubled waters. I'll lay me down like a bridge over troubled waters. I will lay me down. Yeah. Ooh.
Good Lord. Thank you so much, Peaches. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, you have to follow that. We are so excited to welcome back Reverend Mark Anthony Lord today. He's going to be continuing the series on prayer that he started last week. He's an internationally recognized New Era inspirational leader, speaker, and teacher. His personal mission is to assist people in awakening the power of self-love, acceptance, and joy. Let's welcome back Reverend Mark Anthony Lord.
Thank you. Thank you. Someone pointed out to me the irony of my Prayer Works workshop being canceled because I'm sick. But I will tell you, at 6 a.m. in the morning, when I was very sick, and didn't know if I could even make it, Prayer Works. So, because I'm here for that. So, yeah. All right. So, a priest, a minister, and a rabbi. We're talking about who's the best at their job. So they each went into the woods to find a bear and attempt to convert it. And later they got together, and the priest was very happy. He said, I found a bear, and I told him about catechism, and next week he's coming to receive his first Holy Communion. And the minister said, well, I found a bear by the stream, and I got him so excited about the love of Jesus that I baptized him right there in the stream. And then they looked to the rabbi, who was laying there on a gurney all beaten up. And the rabbi said, I guess I shouldn't have started with the circumcision. All right. So today we are continuing the conversation about prayer. And last week I specifically around the 5 steps of affirmative prayer, which I learned from the Science of Mind teaching. Also, there's a 5-step prayer format in the Unity teaching, but it's all the New Thought umbrella. And the affirmative prayer is such a magnificent tool of transformation. In fact, Myrtle Fillmore says about prayer, she says that prayer is an exercise to change our thought habits and our living habits, that we may set up a new and better activity in accord with the divine law rather than with the suggestions we have received from various sources. I absolutely love this, because what that quote is saying is that we're living in just layers of sources of other people's beliefs, other ideas of what's acceptable, what's not, this limitation. We're living under our own ceilings. And for many of us, those ceilings have some suffering in them. Prayer is a magnificent way to break through that ceiling, to avail us to higher laws. It gives us immediate access to the divinity of God, to our own divinity, and then from that place, what do you want? What is it that you desire? Whatever challenge you're facing in your world, prayer is a transformational tool that can completely change it. If we are willing to learn the art of prayer, and if we are willing to use prayer on a consistent basis so that prayer itself transforms us. As I talked about last week, prayer really changes the person who's praying. Prayer changes the mind of the one that is trapped in judgment or trapped in the old story of fear, or any time we're deeming someone outside of ourselves as bad and wrong or part of our problem. Prayer takes us back into the center of ourselves, and it helps us to uncover where the thought problem is, and it helps to transform it. Prayer really does move mountains. It truly, truly does. But many of us haven't spent enough time in the art of prayer, in the science of prayer, in the application of it, so that our faith muscle grows stronger. That's really one of the best, most magnificent things I think we do here in the New. Well, prayer goes across all religions. That's really fair to say for sure. So last week, I talked about the first 2 steps of prayer. God is, I am, or recognition and the unification step. First one, God is. We start at the very, very highest of consciousness. We establish ourselves in this particular form of prayer with that which is absolute and true. And what all New Thought teachings present and the greatest spiritual leaders present is that this world that appears broken and disconnected, where there's a lot of lack and limitation and suffering, that is not where you look for God. You don't look there and go, well, if God's real, then why is this happening? Well, why is this happening? You will never find the wholeness in the brokenness. We must take our eyes off of the brokenness, the perception of fear and separation, and place our attention upon the wholeness of God. That's the first step. God is love. God is joy. God is power. God is grace. God is infinite supply and source. We speak these words. We place our attention upon these divine ideas so that we remember at the core of our spirit that that is what is also true about us. The second step of the prayer. If God is all power and I'm one with God, then I have access to all power. If God is perfect love, and I'm one with God, then I could access perfect love. And I could, through the power of prayer, have love lead me in a particular experience in a brand new way. So God is the goodness that is eternal. And we teach that God is the goodness with no opposite. God is transcendent. And I am that. You are that. This is what we must affirm over and over and over, because I don't know if you're like me, I missed that particular teaching in catechism. I don't quite remember them telling me I was that divine, right? So we all had some conditioning. We all had some teaching. Prayer cracks that open and says, dare to know yourself as holy, even if just in the moment of this prayer. So those are the first two steps I discussed last week, and I went more into them. So if you weren't here, perhaps take some time to listen to that too, if you'd like, because it breaks it down a little more. But today, we're going to move into the next three steps of the prayer. The third step being realization, the fourth step being thanksgiving, and the fifth step being release. So the third step, realization. This is where we realize through the power of our minds a new idea. And how do we do that? With our imagination. Our imagination is a God-given power tool implanted in the center of your being that when activated can create a brand new idea. And the universe does not know the difference between what is imagined and what is actually happening in your experience. If they both are energized, if they both are filled with passion, then the universe says yes to both equally, which means, as we all have heard many times, if you can imagine it, you can achieve it, right? All of us have heard this. But we haven't spent enough time using our imagination muscle and building it intentionally to create the world we want. This step in the center of this 5-step prayer is exactly focused around the power of imagination. I don't recall if I told this before, but I'm going to tell it again. There was a study done with the basketball team. And they were put into 3 different groups. And the first group, for 30 days, practiced free throws to get better. The second group practiced free throws, and they spent time imagining themselves successfully doing free throws. And then the third group only imagined that they did the free throws. Which group do you think was most successful at the end of the 30 days? The third group, the group that imagined. Why? Because they didn't have in their experience missing the hoop. The people who did it and imagined it had the experience of sometimes not making it. And these were all basketball players, by the way. They weren't like me just flailing all over the court. They actually knew what they were doing when they went into the experiment. But the third group, through the power of imagination, became the most successful, using the mind over and over and over. This sits in the center of prayer. The ability to see yourself and imagine yourself in a different reality, in a more expanded sense of love. And whatever the challenge is, to take your focus off of it and imagine yourself now in the present state in a healed experience. So it's very important in this step that it not be future tense. It's not, I'm going to tomorrow have this breakthrough. In our mind and in the imagination and the way the universe responds, we say, right here, right now. Right here, right now, this is what is true. This is what I claim. This is what I accept. It's powerful. It's activating the law of the universe. The Bible very often says, ask and you shall receive. Asking is praying. And I believe that this realization step in the middle of the prayer is an asking. I mean, I consider them both asking, whether you're stomping your feet demanding or you're being nice and kind. The universe says yes. The universe says yes. But the conviction brings forward the passion, which activates that powerful energy, which fills the picture with color. It's like moving an image from black and white into full color. It's like the Wizard of Oz when you land in the land of Oz, and it becomes color. This is what the imagination can do. And the realization step is designed specifically for you to declare what it is that you desire and to see it and to speak it as a present moment experience. And when I do that in my prayers and I'm closing my eyes, I'm literally seeing the images that I'm speaking. If someone is sitting before me asking for prayer of a healing around a particular relationship issue, for example, in my mind, when I turn within, I am declaring this relationship is healed. Love is prevailing. I'm getting images of that because that's how the mind works. The mind works through images. And that's what I see. We take our attention off the problem and we place it on a new idea. And by the power of your word and your imagination and your excitement and your energy in the present moment, you tell the universe something new. And then the next step, when you're really filled full with that passion and you're declaring and you're proclaiming, you're saying yes, 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 you easily move into the fourth step, which is gratitude, thanksgiving. And you move into that step in the moment that you feel that this is done. And I like to imagine it like a little 5-year-old child running out of their bedroom on their birthday. And they run into the living room and they see a bike with a big bow on it. I imagine that child is grateful. That child is so happy. My bike, it's all they see. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They're dancing around the bike. This is the energy of the child. This is the energy of pure gratitude. And this is the energy we generate in our prayer because it's what seals the deal. You know, I think of gratitude as generative. I think of gratitude as magnetic. It's like it's going to, the more grateful you feel, the more quickly your prayer comes into manifestation. It pulls it from the invisible plane into the visible plane just by the power of gratitude. It is such a healing energy. It is such a manifesting energy. To feel grateful. You've just, with your imagination, painted such a picture for yourself or another in the center of your prayer of what is true and what is good and what is possible. And you easily step right into, thank you, sweet Spirit. Thank you. Thank you for the fulfillment of this prayer. Feeling it. It seals the deal. And then the fifth step, this is the most important, except when I'm talking about the other ones, then those are the most important. Right? This is the release step. This is the surrender step. This is a new idea for some of you. Lift your hands up in the air and say, I surrender. See, some of you, that's a new idea, isn't it? What is this thing you speak of, Mark Anthony? Letting go. Letting go. Letting the universe do the heavy lifting. You see, our minds are so obsessed with how. How? How am I going to make this happen? Now I have the idea, how's that going to happen? And then we get a little nervous, and what do? We call our mom, and well, I'll say my mom. I call my mom. I go, oh, I'm going to do this. Well, how are you going to do that? Back to step one in prayer. We do that sometimes. Remember what is that wonderful book by Julia Cameron? The Artist's Way, of course. The Artist's Way. Took that right here with her. Anyone else with me? A couple of us? Yes, we took it right here. The Artist's Way. She talks about, no, I'm losing my mind. I have no idea why I brought that up. This is my problem in this moment. Anyway, I'll find my way to it. Something brilliant in The Artist's Way. Surrendering. I don't know. I'll get there. Oh, no, that's not it either. Back to me. In the letting go, we find ourselves stuck in the how. We find ourselves thinking that we have to do the heavy lifting. And it's the exact opposite. Your God, this universe, is supposed to do the heavy lifting. It knows how. It sees the divine matrix of where everyone's going and how it's working and what needs to occur for you to move from here to here. It knows how to make that happen. You don't have that high of a vision in your own life. You're too subjective. The universe knows how to get you there. And you don't know who's going to appear tomorrow. You don't know what's possible walking down the street. But we spend our time and our energy going, well, how's this going to work? How's this going to work? How's this going to work? And the more we do that, the more we can talk ourselves out of the manifestation. I know what it was in The Artist's Way. She talks about the idea of having those naysayers or attracting those crazy makers in your life. And we all have those crazy makers. And we call those crazy makers when we actually want to get a hit of, I can't really succeed here. Right? Did you call the person who believes in you, or did you call the person who, protecting you, just wants to remind you how unsafe the world is? Right? The crazy makers in our world. And they love us. They do love us. But we've all built these ceilings over ourselves, living mediocre lives in some ways, because we've been trying to protect ourselves. Protect ourselves from what? Dying? We're all doing that, right? Really, we got to pause and say, I didn't come here. I don't think your spirit said, all right, I'm going into this incarnation, but baby, I'm just doing it mediocre. I'm just going to get by. I'm not going the full ride here today. That's not what we came here for. Now, that doesn't mean everyone's a super overachiever. That doesn't mean people are out there winning awards and building things. It means what it means to you. It just means you living your full experience of self. And for one person, that's in a cabin in the woods, their whole life in glory. And the next person in the middle of the city. I mean, it's not about the what. It's about the experience of fullness. This is what we seek. And prayer brings us to this. So, back to the release. We have to let go and let the universe do the heavy lifting. And this is your part of your work this week ahead. You really go, God's got this. I'm not doing the heavy lifting here. Practice that. Let yourself be that precious. God's got this. The analogy I like to use is making a cake. You put all the ingredients in the pan and you preheat the oven. And when it comes time, you put the cake in the oven and you close the oven door, and the laws of the oven, whatever you call that, do their thing, right? You, for the next 45 minutes, get to take a nap, or you get to go for a run, or you get to clean the house. You get to do whatever. You set the timer, and you get to do whatever. The oven's got it. And somehow, because you've come to trust an oven more than you have God, you don't go open the oven every 5 minutes. Because what would happen if you open the oven every 5 minutes just to make sure the cake is cooking? It won't cook. You are getting in the way. Let the oven do what the oven does. And 45 minutes you open it, and that which was liquid is now a cake. That's brilliant. That's how prayer works. But many of us keep opening the oven door. And that means worrying, fretting about it, saying, what if it doesn't happen? Trying to figure out the how. That's opening the oven door. That's getting in the way and slowing down the manifestation. If you use an hour a day worrying about how your prayer could come to pass, you could have used that hour looking forward to and feeling excited about what's possible inside of it. Do you see how prayer really challenges us to face ourselves? To see where we fear, to see where faith ends, to see where we think we have to take over. So many gifts in prayer. It points us back to ourselves. But when we really say God's got it, then our job is to walk in the fulfillment of the prayer, to feel excited, to feel hopeful in the most positive way, and to allow the manifestation of this prayer to prepare you. Because the truth of the matter is, you cannot have anything in this world truly have unless you first have the mental equivalent. When you have the mental equivalent, then it shall come to pass. So prayer is working on your mind and your energy, creating a mental equivalent inside of you, so that, boom, you're fully cooked, and there it is. And that's what's so fun about prayer. That's what it does. So the first step, God is. Second step is I am part of that God. Third step, I declare, this is what I realize. This is what I claim right here, right now. This is what's true. And I am so grateful for this. And I let it go. I put this into the law of the universe. And I know, I always like to say in my prayers, you'll hear it probably, when I do my prayer, I put this into the law of the universe that only says yes. Isn't that nice? That's my way of assuring that I'll be okay. We have our little turns of phrases that help us remember what is true. The universe passionately loves you. The universe passionately wants for you whatever you want. It doesn't judge what you want. The only thing that is conditional on your wanting, if it be for good, I think we're sort of established in this room in the consciousness of goodness and love, and if it be for all of those things, the universe is in pure alignment, because your expression of fulfilled prayer becomes a blessing unto the world. Let me say that again. Your experience of fulfilled prayer becomes a blessing to the world. Whether you're praying for a new car, whether you're praying for a healed relationship, a healed body, whether you're praying for peace in your mind and in your heart, whatever it is that you're calling forth, when that becomes true in your experience, that becomes a blessing that ripples out. So the universe will not withhold. God's love will not withhold. Who has the worthiness problem, God or me? Sometimes I got to check that out, right? And usually it's me. I've seldom found, at least the God I believe in, the God that I believe in and the God I've come to love has no issue with me whatsoever. And all my God says is, baby, you got it. I love you. So expanding into that and then becoming a mighty manifester, creating moving mountains. This is what prayer does. Many of us in this room have had answered prayers. And as Edwina Gaines talks, because I quote her a lot, sometimes we prayed something in and we had to pray it back out. But at least we know prayer works. Right? At least we know prayer works. So turn within. Take a deep breath. Put your feet on the floor. Open your hands in your palm on your lap so they're open and receptive. And take a moment and just think about something that you desire. Maybe it's just a way to feel. Maybe there's a relationship in your life that you need some healing around. Or there's something of this world that you want to have an experience in. Perhaps your bank account. You wanted to have some more funds inside of it. Perhaps there's a particular job, a way of expressing yourself in the world that you desire. Will you just imagine that for a moment? Imagine with no past, no future, look up into the heavens of your mind and see yourself having this. See this experience happening. See this relationship enveloped in love. See the peace. See whatever it is. Your mind is the creative tool. Use your imagination and see this for a moment. And as you're seeing it, see if you can bring a gentle smile to the face, which increases the positivity and the joy and the passion. Just keep seeing it as I move into prayer. And I begin by recognizing God is. God is the love. God is the power. God is the love and the law. God is that presence that we are immersed in that says, yes, yes, yes. God is the infinite goodness. God is the eternal life. And I am one with that. I am one with the eternal life of God. I am the joy of God. I am the power and the presence of God. I access the laws of this universe whenever I think and I speak. And in this moment of prayer, turbocharged, connected to the divine source, I declare that everyone who is holding something in their mind and heart, it shall come to pass here and now. It is established. As it is imagined, it is done. I declare that the universe, the law of life, is activated, and it says yes, yes, yes. Yes. Say, I accept this now. I accept this now. I accept this now. Deep breath. See it, feel it, expand it in your mind. Grateful. Grateful. I give thanks. I give thanks for the amazing imagination that can bring this into my mind. I give thanks for the law that is fulfilling this prayer. Every prayer in this room. I give thanks. I give thanks to a God that loves me and that joyously gives us our heart's desires. And in great gratitude, I release this prayer into the action of the law that only says yes. We let it go. Lift your hands up in the air and say, I let this go. I let this go. I let God do it. Bring your hands to prayer at your chest. And so this prayer is released. All of these prayers have been released like beautiful balloons up in the air. I let it go. I let it be. Together we say, and so it is. Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
We invite you to speak the names of those you would like held in prayer into this sacred space. We hold our beloved community in our hearts and our prayers. We hold our minister, Reverend Heidi and Mark Anthony, Lord. Our board, our staff, our volunteers in this powerful prayer energy. And we ask that you include the names of those who are asking for prayer on the board behind us. May our peace and oneness bless our brothers and sisters around the world as we hold the high watch as peacemakers. And so it is. Our prayers are already answered. Amen. We're your prayer chaplains for today. I'm Sue Ellen. This is Gabby. Michael will be around the corner in the Fillmore room or wherever you can catch us. And we're here to pray with you. We're honored to pray with you, and we honor your confidentiality. Thank you so much.
Thank you to our prayer chaplains. Thank you for Reverend Mark Anthony Lord for your inspiring message. And Reverend Mark Anthony is going to lead us in our time of conscious giving.
All right, now is our time to take the gift that you bring today to give to this beautiful community. If you give virtually, if you're an auto giver, then just imagine that in your hands. And if you have nothing to give today in terms of money, please fill your hands with love. And when the basket goes by, bless it. So every one of us is giving something to this beautiful community. And so together we say this: divine love richly flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for the blessings of this day. I am grateful for the blessings on the way. Thank you for your contribution, ushers.
And God is our source. Oh, yeah. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Sing about love. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. How about peace? Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. One more time. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks. Thank you, God, for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
And so please join me. Just extend your hands and let love flow from your heart through your hands as we all bless the gifts that are given here today. And we all give thanks knowing that God is our source and that God is the source of this beautiful community. We know that these gifts do multiply themselves and joyously serve our beautiful staff in this beautiful building and the ministries and all that is wanting to be known and experienced. This divine energy of money moving as God's love is enough and more than enough. And I bless the givers because I know that wherever love is given, it is multiplied and returned. So this blessing fills this room with great gratitude. And so it is. Amen.
We would like to take a moment to welcome those of you that are with us for the first time. We're glad that you've chosen to be with us today. If you are here for the first time, if you could raise your hand with me so our ushers can find you. Get the hands up and keep them up for a couple minutes, okay? Keep them up because I've got the ushers scrambling out there, sorry. Along with the flower you're receiving, we have a free welcome DVD for you downstairs in our welcome zone, which is in the library, which is on the first floor. There's a big welcome sign in blue, and you can find someone with a pink badge on, and they would be glad to answer any questions that you might have about Unity or Unity in Chicago. We're delighted that you're here, and we hope to get to know you a little bit better after services. For the rest of us, we know that the best way to stay connected is by visiting our website, www.unitychicago.org. And you're to receive the weekly email update. If you're not receiving the update, you can sign up for that at the base of the stairs or at the wings with Michael in the gallery. Just a few announcements. I know you want more, but there's only a few. I could make stuff up. Pranic healing will be offered this afternoon at 1:15. That's also downstairs in the library. There are new sacred service opportunities available. Sign-up sheets are in the friendship room. Don't forget that the prayer workshop for this afternoon has been canceled. And Carol and our pet ministry leader, they are here today. Stop by and visit Carol in the gallery to hear more about pets that are available. Something that not everybody's really aware of. When you sign up to foster a pet, you're really only responsible for housing and loving that pet. The pet ministry takes care of all the costs that are involved, including food. So if you've been hesitant to do that for that reason, think about doing that. And for the third week in a row, Larry is downstairs serving chili in the friendship room with the proceeds going to support the pet ministry. So we thank the pet ministry, Carol and Larry, for all that they do. And now, let's welcome back Peaches Faison.
Love never dies. Love never ends. We need your help, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind. That's in the pocket, baby girl. I'll be your light, your match, your burning sun. I'll be the bride in black that's making you run. And I feel alright, feel alright. We'll work it out, yeah, we'll work it out. I'll be doing this if there is a doubt. When the love runs out, when the love runs out, I'll be your ghost, your game, your stadium. I'll be your 50,000 clapping as one. And I feel alright, I feel alright. Work it out, yeah, I work it out. I'll be doing this if I have a doubt. Till the love runs out, till the love runs out. I got my mind made up and I can't let go. I'm giving every second till it saves my soul. Woo! I'll be running. Woo! I'll be running till the love runs out. Till the love runs out. I'll be doing this if they shut it down. Till the love runs out. Till the love runs out. I got my mind made up and I can't let go. I'm killing every second till it saves my soul. Woo! I'll be running. I'll be running till the love runs out. Till the love runs out. And we're starting fire. Then we'll burn it out. Till the love runs out. Till the love runs out. Hey y'all. Woo! Everybody. Woo! Woo! See, we all know we all once sing. Yes, we know we are one for the same things. For God, for faith, for love, for hate, for dust and rust, for diamonds and gold.
I'll be your light, your match, your burning sun. I'll be your bride in black that's making you run. I got my mind made up and I can't let go. I'm killing every second now it saves my soul. Ooh,
I'll be running,
ooh,
I'll be running.
till the love runs out, till the love runs out, and we start a fight,
And we'll put it out.
till the love runs out, till the love runs out.
I got my mind made up.
And I can't let go. I'm giving every second till it saves my soul. I'll be running till the love runs out, till the love runs out. And we
Darling, this,
and I have no doubt till the love runs out, till the love runs out.
love is out.
Well, thank you, Peaches. I hope you come back really soon. Thank you, Gretchen and Peter and Bill and Sarah. I think he's already ditched out, but let's thank Reverend Mark Anthony Lord again. Let's take a moment to look at our statement of being and say that together. We are a divine spiritual community of light, love, and laughter, comprised of people of all faiths, through creative thought, affirmative prayer, meditation, and inspired action. We bring good into expression in our lives and in the world. And so it is. Let's sing ourselves home. Have a great week. Enjoy the Super Bowl Sunday. I know what game it is, but I don't know what teams. So enjoy.
Weave us together. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together. Weave us together, together, and let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Yay, God. Yay, us.